In this Lion Legend feature, we're going to sit down with one of the most highly decorated student athletes of all time at North Alabama. From Plymouth, England, a four-time All-American selection, UNA's all-time leading goal scorer, Chloe Roberts joins us. Chloe, thanks for taking the time to catch up with us. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Let's open up first thing. Just give UNA fans an update on what you're doing these days.
Yeah, so ever since UNA, I kind of played some soccer on different platforms at different levels. And then things didn't really work out playing wise. So I got into coaching. And I'm now here in Kearney, Nebraska, where I'm the head women's soccer coach for the University of Nebraska Kearney, which is a D2 women's soccer program. And I've been here for 3 years as the head coach. So I really enjoy my job, really blessed to be in this position, and kind of really happy where my life has kind of took me onto this path.
So you hold so many records at UNA, still 10 records that you hold, so many accolades. As I said, one of the most highly decorated players, a 65, 18, and 3 years in your 4 years at UNA, the school's first ever soccer Gulf South Conference championship. From England to North Alabama, just how special of a place is UNA to you?
Yeah, UNA is a very special place. You know, coming over from England to America at the age of 18 was a huge step, a huge chance that I took. And I wanted to find somewhere where I'd have an instant family away from home. And UNA gave me exactly that. It's just a very special place. You know, the community was great there. I really enjoyed my time. Because I'm from a small town in England, Plymouth, England, which is on the southwest, about 3 hours from London, a small town. So Florence, Alabama really fit that, being kind of, you know, not a big city, big town. So that was really nice. I really enjoyed that part. And so the transition process was just great for me. The team, when I arrived, was like an instant family. There was already some English on the team when I arrived, and also my recruiting class also had some English in there. So that also helped. But it was just, it's always going to be a place where I consider another home of mine, because it really set me up to be the platform for where I am right now. And I'm forever grateful to be given the opportunity to be a part of UNA soccer and just UNA as an institution in general.
93 goals scored in your career, 51 assists in your career as well. Let's jump into your North Alabama career. Graham Winkworth, your head soccer coach, if you will, when he's recruiting you to come to North Alabama, what was the sales pitch like? What sold you on it?
Yeah, you know, it was kind of an interesting time because it was always a dream of mine to go out to America to play soccer. And I was actually inspired by the movie Bender Like Beckham, if you've ever seen it. That's where I kind of got my inspiration from. And, you know, I was playing for Plymouth Argyle, which was my hometown team. And Graham happened to come out there and watch one of my games. And it kind of just went on from there. You know, I was also recruited by other D2 and actually D1 schools at the time as well. But, you know, being from England, I didn't really know the process. I was trying to figure out what was going to be the best fit for me. And I wanted to go somewhere where I could make an impact and help build a program into something to help it in the future. And so UNA kind of fit everything. You know, Graham saw me pretty well on the university. I got on well with him. So that also helped because I had that face-to-face interaction, which I didn't with other coaches that were recruiting me. So that really helped in that process. But I was just, you know, wanted to go somewhere where I could make an impact. And I thought at UNA was gonna be the right fit for me to do that. And it turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made.
UNA had players come over from England in the past, but your signing class featured several. Nikki Brown, Joe Chubb, only names that resonate with UNA fans. But what was it like having that bond with your teammates?
Yeah, you know, I think with my recruiting class, there was Julia Osmond, Jen Osmond, Nikki Brown, and Joe Chubb, and those were the English ones in my recruiting class, and they all sort of knew each other. I kind of didn't know anybody, so I was going in completely blind in that aspect. But we would talk, you know, on Facebook and all that you used to do back then. So that really helped. And also having people on the team that were from England that we could reach out to ask any questions in the transition process. That was also huge. So that definitely helped in that. And again, that we just ended up kind of molding into a really great team with a great gel of both English and American players. What we did there was very special.
You busted onto the scene as a freshman. 32 goals scored your first year, still stands as the school record, GSC Freshman of the Year and Player of the Year. What was that first season like for you?
To be honest, it was just a whirlwind. I was just a kid from Plymouth, England that just wanted to play soccer. And so that's exactly what I did. And then all these accolades kept coming through, and I was kind of in denial on how really good they were at that point. I've always been known to be a very humble person because I believe the game of soccer isn't an individual game. It's a team game. So, it was a whirlwind. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed my time there. My freshman year with the transition process and getting to know the team. And we could see that we were building something pretty special there. We were very successful our first year. Getting all the way to the conference final and then hitting West Florida, which is what happened every year. They seem to be our rival team. But no, it was a whirlwind. And, I'm forever grateful for all the teammates that were on the team because they helped me get all those awards. They played a huge part in that. There were some very, very talented players. And we all gelled together and created something very special.
2011, a special year. Let's dive into this. UNA goes 17-4, the first ever Gulf South Conference championship in women's soccer in UNA history. GSC Player of the Year again. What are your memories of that championship run?
Oh yeah, it was about time. I think that's what we said when we won the conference final. It's about time because we had 2 years where we were in the final and we got beat by West Florida. So. Finally, when we won that 2011, it was like, okay, all the hard work, all the sacrifices that we made were worth it. Like I said, from that first year, we could tell we were building something pretty special there. And it was going to take a little bit of time. So for us to finally have it together and win that conference championship was huge, not just for the program, but for the university as well, because I believe that was the first ever Gulf South Conference Soccer Championship at UNA. So, that made it extra special for us. And it just proved how good a team we were, how talented we were all the way through the field from our goalkeeper all the way to our forward, and everybody played their role. So it was just a very special year. Again, all the other accolades came with it. But at the time, I wasn't worried or focusing on any of them. They just kind of came with the package that that year kind of brought. So it was a year that was a whirlwind, but one that I won't ever forget. And to be honest, I won't ever forget my 4 years there because I really enjoyed it.
93 goals in your career, the most in school history. You had a reputation of having the big goals. You'd set the tone early with a goal or get a goal when the team needed it most. Are there any that just still resonate that you can take us back to? I'll put you on the spot.
Let me think. I think one of the goals that resonated with me, it was the 2010 Gulf South Conference final. We were playing West Florida as usual, and we were down 2-1, and there was 30 seconds remaining in the game. And I just remember the ball got put through to Nikki. I'm kind of on the ground at this point. I don't know why I'm on the ground. I think I tripped over or something. She puts a cross in, the ball comes at my feet, and I take a turn and I just shoot it with my left foot. And it goes in to take it into overtime in the Gulf South Conference final. So I think that was a very special goal for me because I very rarely scored against West Florida. So when I did, it was very special. And then I think another one would be, again, against West Florida. When it was our home game in 2010, we were down 1-0, and I got a goal to tie us to make it 1-1. So I just remember the atmosphere there being huge. I think there was some sponsorship thing going on in the crowd with best dressed or loudest fan would win an award or something. So there was great atmosphere there. But those are the ones that kind of stick out to me. But again, every goal had its own memory, but those are the ones that I would say stick out.
A National Player of the Year selection to your resume, and you throw in two. You were named Alabama Sports Writer Small College Athlete of the Year in 2012. And you've touched on a lot of the accolades, but to go from England to America to win all these awards, just how wild of a ride was it?
Yeah, it was wild. When I decided to come to UNA, I honestly never thought I would have it as successful career as I did as an individual, but also as a team as well. You know, it was all credit to my teammates, and I'll say that from day one, because none of these awards would be possible if I didn't have that group around me. And so they deserve just as much recognition in that as I do, because, you know, this team really helped me create my platform and where I am right now. You know, because with the current players I coach right here, you know, they get back to my playing days and they talk about, oh, what was it like at UNA? And they see all these accolades that I have, and they're just like, wow, how did you do that? And I'm like, wow, we had a really, really good team. So I just happened to be blessed to be a part of it. So it was just a crazy whirlwind 4 years, but one of the most special times of my life.
So after the great run at UNA, take us through your professional soccer ventures and some of the opportunities that you have.
Yeah. So before my senior year at North Alabama in 2012, the summer of 2012, I started getting my foot in the door playing semi-professional soccer for the Atlanta Silverbacks, where it was just a summer league. So I played there for the summer. Then I saw out my senior year, and then I graduated in 2013. And then summer of 2013, I played in another summer league for Colorado Rapids. And then after that, I was didn't really know what I was going to do. So I continued to stay in Florence, Alabama, where I coached some high school and club soccer. And then I continued to keep playing, keep touching the ball when I could. And then I tried out for the Portland women's professional team. I was unsuccessful in that tryout, which was completely fine because there was a lot better players than me when I attended that tryout. But I'm always one to take opportunities when they're given. So I took a chance, but it just didn't work. And so that took me into where I was like, okay, I'm in a kind of a crossroads now. Do I keep playing with really, I don't know what's going to happen, or do I find a different path in my life? So I applied to be a graduate assistant here at Nebraska Kearney in 2014, where I was like, okay, let's just focus on coaching. I think this might be the right path for me. And so I was a graduate assistant here 2014 to 2016, where I got my master's degree in exercise science. And then I was the assistant for a year. And then I got promoted to the head coach. So it's been a whirlwind in that aspect on my coaching path now. But I did all the stepping stones. And to be honest, playing, I would love to have continued playing. It was kind of hard for me to stop playing. But I found a new passion in coaching and helping players succeed, and kind of tell them my life lessons and what I learned during my time at UNA. And throughout my life to help build a program here, just like we did at UNA.
So now the head coach at Nebraska Kearney, and we go back, you had the English girls on the team with you as well. Holly Loud, an assistant at North Alabama. Joe Chubb, she's still with Graham Winkworth as assistant coach. Nikki Brown's bounced around at some big schools as well. What's it like playing with all these players and now seeing you all take off with your coaching careers?
Yeah, I think it's awesome because you know, we've all found a passion, I guess, in the coaching part, and it's crazy that we've all stayed in America as well. You know, if you asked me that my freshman year, you know, when I came out to America, I said to my mom, "Oh, I'll be back in 4 years." Well, 10 years, 11 years later, I'm sure they said the same thing. We're still out here. But I think it's great, and especially we're on all different parts of the world in America. You know, coaching at different levels, different roles too. And I think it's great. I enjoy seeing them and what they're doing, and how they're succeeding in the paths they're taking. And, you know, I wish them nothing but the best in their careers on their coaching path. But it's great to see your teammates being successful in their futures.
Now, you're at Nebraska Kearney, but my understanding is there's a North Alabama connection up there, and you've spotted some UNA here at some of your matches.
Yeah. So Mike Keene, the former baseball coach, I was coaching a game, and I turn around in the stands, and I see a UNA top, and I had to like double take it. I was like, that's not a UNA top, is it? Well, I had to go up there and ask, and it was his parents. And so it was just a crazy moment because you just don't think in Kearney, Nebraska, you're going to see anyone from UNA. So it was a crazy experience that. But it's kind of cool. You know, I got my UNA shirt on right here now. So, you know, you always have the memorabilia from the school you played at or where your son coached or anything like that. So, so yeah, it was crazy to see them in the stands at a game. And they actually do come to a few, which is awesome.
Well, Chloe, you had an outstanding career at UNA. I know UNA fans are thankful for it, and we're all rooting for you as you get your coaching career as well. Thanks for going down memory lane with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.